Sounds like a spying scandal, doesn't it? The warning, that's the warning from Sir Lindsay Hoyle, the Speaker of the House of Commons. And a name associated with this is the Labour MP Barry Gardiner. Brent North, great survivor of Labour Party politics, Minister under Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, Shadow Minister under Ed Miliband and Jeremy Corbyn. Now, the spying warning from the Speaker is about a woman called Christine Lee, who is Chinese, and she has been funding Barry Gardiner's office, including paying for members of his staff, who include her son, for some years. Now, the links between Barry Gardiner and Christine Lee have been known about for some time. Papers like The Times, Daily Mail have done stories about this. What is new is the Speaker's very stark warning to MPs that she's involved in spying. Let me read you part of a long and very startling email sent by Sir Lindsay to members of Parliament. A similar one has gone to peers from the Lord Speaker, Lord McFall. This is from Sir Lindsay Hoyle's email. I'm writing now to draw your attention to the attached interference alert issued by the security service MI5 about the activities of an individual, Christine Lee, who has been engaged in political interference activities on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party, engaging with members here at Parliament and associated political entities, including the former all-party parliamentary group Chinese in Britain. He goes on, I should highlight the fact that Lee has facilitated financial donations to serving and aspiring parliamentarians on behalf of foreign nationals based in Hong Kong and China. This facilitation was done covertly to mask the origins of the payments. This is clearly unacceptable. This is clearly unacceptable behaviour, and steps are being taken to ensure it ceases. Well, I have a statement from Barry Gardiner. I've spoken to him in the last few minutes. He's issued a fairly lengthy statement. He begins by saying that this Parliamentary Security Director has issued a security service interference alert in relation to Christine Lee and her attempts to engage in political interference on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party. Mr. Gardiner says, I've been liaising with our security services for a number of years about Christine Lee, and they have always known and have been made fully aware by me of her engagement with my office and the donations she made to fund researchers in my office in the past. He says steps were taken to ensure Christine Lee had no role in either the appointment or management of those researchers. They're also aware that I have not benefited personally from those donations in any way. She ceased funding my work, any workers in my office in June 2020. He says all the donations were properly reported in the Register of MPs' interest, source verified at the time. And he says, I've been assured by the security services that while they have definitively identified improper funding channeled through Christine Lee, this does not relate to any funding received by my office. He says, Christine Lee's son volunteered in my office many years ago and was subsequently employed by me as diary manager. He resigned from my employment earlier today, clearly related to the Speaker's warning. The security services advised me they have no intelligence that shows he was aware of or complicit in his mother's illegal activity. He says he'll continue to work with the security services on this and all other matters relating to security. Now, many Conservative MPs, in particular those who've clashed with the Chinese regime, are pretty alarmed about all this. In the last hour, Sir Ian Duncan Smith, who, as he says, as one of a number of MPs sanctioned by the Chinese, raised this point of order in the House of Commons.
I understand that Mr. Speaker has been contacted by MI5 and is now warning members of Parliament that there has been an agent of the Chinese government active here in Parliament working with a member of Parliament, obviously to subvert the processes here. I say, as a member of Parliament who is sanctioned by the Chinese government, as others, that this is a matter of grave concern.
Well, we await further comment from Sir Lindsay Hoyle as to what the parliamentary authorities, what further action they're going to take. We also await some sort of response from the government as well, and perhaps the security services indeed. But this looks like a potential spying scandal. Barry Gardner has given his response. Clearly, Christine Lee's son, who was working for him, has resigned today. So clearly, Mr. Gardner has taken some action. There are one or two other MPs who've received funding as well. He's the best known of these, though. As I say, for some years, his links with Christine Lee have been known. But this email from the Speaker has shocked many MPs, and there is the potential here of a spying scandal at a very sensitive time politically in terms of UK relations with China.